spicy matchup of this is going to be the op duel between Bowden Master and Henny. I mean, we know how quick Henny can be. We know what a phenomenal operator he can be about getting into engagements and getting himself out of them as well. So it's going to be interesting. Turtle's up in towards underpass early. This is a very straightforward long take. They're just rocking it out. BRN wants to deal with this fight from Carr. Let's see what we're going to get. They know he's here. They want the duel. Bowden wants the P250 shot, but they don't have utility to clear him. There's no Molotov here. And their smoke and flash need to be saved for the actual take on towards long. So not being able to deal with this presence, really slowing things down here. There we go. There's the shot. That cracks this into the fray. And now they just have to deal with the JOTA back towards the site. That's going to be the real challenge to get past. But as they start to barrel forward, JOTA might be the one who finds a little bit too much pressure coming his way. And he's going to bail out of there. He's out. That's the bomb plant conceded. That's the bomb crossed over. No one's really in position to retake this from Cat just yet. Though Turtle will quickly move on in. And now MIBR, they're very much ready for the retake.
Turtle priming for said retake, moving on forward with the dualies in hand. 30 rounds to fire away here at any targets that he might see, but ATK are ducking and covering 2 players on ramp. In fact, they're going to try and peek back and forth, taking turns, firing away towards Turtle, but it's JOTA and Turtle to strike. Fady and Swisher, along with Bowden, are going to fall by the wayside. It's actually only Swisher. Fady left, I don't know who's left, but Fady's going to be down for the count.
No one's left,
and
John.
No one,
no survivors
is left, and it's going to be 1-0 in favor of MIBR. Fantastic retake there.
Excellent retake. I mean, a tough situation, right? That one pretty much went the way ATK were hoping for. Maybe they wanted the kill towards Carr a bit quicker, but when the actual kills did come through, it was all good. It was all clean, and then suddenly it wasn't. Ain't that always the case in the pistol round?
It is, honestly.
Like, all right, this is great. We got everything. Oh, no, USP's clicked heads. Goodbye.
Just how it goes sometimes, and sometimes the other way around with the Glock, but the USP is just so laser precise, right? So effective at finding those headshots.
Speaking of laser precise, we got scouts, we got AKs up, and we got 2 full built utilities. There's a lot for ATK, but it's stacked up on 2 players, realistically. MOTM and Austin missed him. Don't know where that came from. Don't worry about it.
Jet lag, Mike.
Yeah, you know, we're warming up here.
Yes.
Players are warming up. We're warming up too. All good. Don't worry about it.
Yeah, we're good.
I will say, since we do have a bit of a beat in this round, one player who I'm waiting to arrive here at the Road to Rio is Swisher. He has not had a great performance in the last 2 maps. He's been towards the bottom of the boards for the team, and that is not the ordinary. He's frequently the strongest rifler on this squad, right? He can take over a game. It's what we expect from him. We know the kind of talent that Swisher possesses, but at least as of yet, and admittedly, it's only through 2 maps, Swisher as an individual is yet to arrive, and this could be the map for that to change.
And he's also one of their entry fraggers, right? He gets 20.5% of the attempts on his side and 56% success rate, so they need him to activate to get those entries, in particular, on their T sides.
They do. They absolutely do. Could be a difference maker if he starts to come online. Seems like we're going to get a duel out towards long. Swisher, speaking of entry fragging, is going to set himself up to be traded. Never mind. Timing not great for Turtle. He's coming back into it, right into the rifle, right into death. Not a bullet landed there. That's an unfortunate spray for Turtle. Gives them access out towards long, and now with a player up catwalk as well. There's a lot of pinch potential here for ATK. Rotations need to come in, but knowing that there might be some cat presence, you could see MIBR a bit timid about it. BRN has information. Back in towards tunnels, and that's a huge kill to find. Henny goes 1 and done, but that's enough. The kill on catwalk is so critical to setting up this retake still. It's all the rifles still up, it's the scouts still up, and just in the nick of time, ATK now have a bomb to defend.
Nade gonna sail on in, not gonna get any frags though, just a bit of damage. What a shot from exit with the deagle onto Bowden Master. MOTM watching and waiting. Both players have to come from Cat, and MOTM's gonna take down the other one. Only exit and JOTA left, and now exit is going to find one, but the trade is good. 1v1 and missed him. Will clutch it out in the end. There's the round for ATK.
And I just heard the noise coming through from the next room. I would wager that's MOTM getting loud. Might be Swisher as well, but they tend to be the noisy ones. The rest of the team's a little more reserved, with the exception of Spray. But you can't get loud if you're the coach here. Not at this event.
No,
not allowed.
You have to stay quiet. It's not
allowed. He's got to. I mean, I'm just waiting for the coach to develop a meta of like putting a muzzle on themselves, specifically to avoid accidentally getting too excited and getting pulled off. It's gonna happen. Someone's gonna take the next step. Redefine the coaching apparatus. shall we say. Long control once again taken by ATK. This is an early focus. They've had it every round, John, and this time it's completely conceded. Turtle not fancying the peek in. Just got the dig this time.
1:25 on the clock here, and everyone seems to be at a standstill. ATK sending 3 players leaning towards long A, and will be 4 soon as Fady is coming on in. The other one lurking around is Swisher with the MAC-10, hoping that someone pushes into his crosshair from the upper tunnels. But as it stands, MIBR just want to hold these passive angles. Turtle, perhaps a little bit vulnerable here if a flashbang comes through. But he's just going to hold close and hope that Henny can connect. But there's Henny. He does connect, even though he's flashbang. Finds the head of MOTM, looking for another target. Still can't get anything, and finally is shut down by Fady's AK. Turtle still standing here, and now they're going to back off of it, Mike.
That's a big kill to find. That alleviates some of the pressure because they were certainly starting to feel it. That car fight has been a problem here for ATK.
Yes.
Molotov doesn't go deep enough to actually make Henny remotely uncomfortable. He can just play behind it. I think that molly would have only affected him if he was actually tucked into the corner. So some concerning signs for ATK perhaps, but that kill means that this round should be just about wrapped up with a bow. Swisher spots the next. He'll collect this kill, and Turtle really just needs to try and save his rifle. No, certainly he's not going to attempt. He'll have a look.
I mean, he's going to
He'll have a look. And Bowden brought the fight to him. Turtle wins that out with the Khalil. Upgrade available, and yeah, okay. Yeah. Smoke in his face, health down low, no kit. Time for Turtle to tuck back into his shell.
Yeah, just save that AK and move on back. Good frags, at least, to make it a little more punishing in terms of economy for ATK, but that round was already over once ATK took that B site. So good job on their part. I mean, talking more about the car position, Henny had 4 or 5 shots to take that he missed every single one, and that's super unusual. Even with the Scuddy, I was expecting him to get a tag or 2.
Well, I mean, that's a tricky one, right? You have to pop and shot. You pretty much have no time to actually register. It has to just be full instinct, you know, just muscle memory trying to pop ahead. So,
but it's Henny.
Yeah, it is Henny. He does have that. But, you know, he did get a blind shot, so we'll give him his credit. We'll give him his just due.
Grasping a little too hard. But, yeah. This is the blind shot that we had. It was pretty wicked.
I think you give him that one.
All right,
you give him that one when he knows that anytime he pops up, his head might just get ripped off by an AK. Still, that's not the round we expected much from MIBR. This round won't be either unless they run into Turtle's AK. Where are they playing Turtle? He's up on the site. Maybe a little cat peek.
He's actually jumped down now. He's on towards elevator.
Indecision. 3-way crosshair lineup here. They elevate the USP. Turtle might just get caught with util. Oh, Smoke comes out in time. That could have been bad.
Oh, on the fadeaway.
And yeah, indeed, nothing out of the rifle. I mean, it'll be picked up by a teammate, but they did not exactly put the 1 AK in a position to succeed in this round. MIBR maybe a little indecision with what they want to do with that gun. Typically, I mean, a lot of teams will just, if you have that situation, just let the guy call what he wants to do with the rifle.
Yeah.
But now JOTA gets to call what he wants to do, which he's always calling what he wants to do. That's his job.
Yes, it is. Nice shot from Bowden. In fact, though, I mean, Turtle was behind the smoke, and Bowden just fading away with the AK, sprays him right to the dome, and now there's obviously the AK, as we mentioned, still standing for JOTA, but with this hit coming to the B site, it's not going to be easy for MIBR to hang on to this round with a very limited investment that they brought into it. Swisher's just going to Molotov off Cat and jump up there to create a distraction, but the actual hit is going to head to the B site. Bowden also leaning towards A. There's MOTM getting one, but only one JOTA. Can he activate here and do more damage is the question.
No armor. Look at the player in CT. This is going to be the problem. Swisher coming in for the cleanup. He's hanging out in CT. He's got a really cheeky angle on this. And now JOTA will be collected. The rifle's out of play. And that is going to be ATK with a hot start here on the Dust2.
Yep, winning the rounds that they have to here. No question about it. And they look comfortable. I mean, they were talking on the desk, of course, about ATK maybe having less experience on land. It's true, but it's not like they haven't been on land. It's just overseas that they haven't been, right?
Yeah, Philadelphia pros.
Yeah,
out here.
They absolutely are.
There they are. I will say as well, one interesting note, there's a lot of familiarity between these teams, but they haven't actually played an official since this new MIBR roster.
Which is strange. I guess they're always on opposite sides of the groups in Challenger League.
Well, MIBR is also on the opposite side of the globe a lot of the time. Turtle! Okay, here's Turtle's revenge. He doesn't see anyone, but he gets 2 kills. Fully blinded up, playing the angle in towards door. That is ATK getting shut down on long control for the first time this map. That's a great result for MIBR early.
5v3. Fady looking for a quick response potentially here towards mid, and he's just going to take this space more than likely. He's aware of the possibility of someone being CT, but he should be able to slip through, and there he goes. He's got cover as well from Mistum. Fady peering around. I'm just going to toss a pretty good nade here, but it's not going to connect for much damage. Would have expected more, but they were actually falling off of that. JOTA peeks around. He gets 1 and the second. JOTA will find the last one too. What a round for him.
Clean sweep for MIBR. ATK bottled up. Caught in those choke points and just dismantled. Multi-frags. There's the smiles. All right. A little bit of cheer coming in for JOTA.
I mean,
yeah,
you
why
have
not?
to feel good, right?
Yeah, they just give you the 1x1s. Easy.
I was surprised ATK gave up the space that they'd gained, too. They were already pushed up close next to CT and decided to fall back, and that was literally their undoing because they had to go for 1v1s against JOTA, and he just said, okay, sure.
Worked out for him.
Oh, yeah. ATK, going to take the space up mid here. Do have a buy up, 3 AKs, the Deagle, and the AWP. Still looking to peer out and find some contacts, but MIBR are effectively giving them mid completely. The only presence is a player that's peeking around back and forth from the B doors. Outside of that, it's a free path. ATK going to use the space that they're given, walking right on up as motm is tucked into that cubby. JOTA might try to regain it shortly, but the smoke is blocking him off, so he's just going to go back to the A site, and that's what they're going to do, play these sites.
Mid control will be given over. Smoke should guarantee it. They're through the door.
Yep.
No one playing it close. And as you said, it's into the sites they go. BRN perhaps going to be tested here. It's exit burning. BRN on the board. And JOTA gets a kill elsewhere. BRN even manages to withdraw. Burst firing with the Famos, but there's the 2 B site defenders gone. But the question is, can they get the bomb? Can they get the bomb? Losing that player in mid makes this a nightmare. Going back out the window, it's a disaster for ATK. They had the site. That's normally an auto win condition, but you do have to bring the C4 along, and that kill from JOTA to drop it in mid was critical.
Oh, absolutely. And I think ATK looking a little tentative on their takes of mid, right? They're hesitant. They're not going with authority for those takes. And had they gone a little bit faster, I think they could have caught MIBR a little more off guard, but they didn't.
I mean, perhaps you do have to acknowledge, though, that JOTA did get very fortunate with that timing, spraying through a smoke. That turns out to be the kill that actually does unwind the round for ATK. But ATK, recognizing that early momentum starting to slip away, they're going to take the time out early. Spray's going to start to have his contribution here. Get in their ears, chat about some of the things they're seeing early on, what they can button up here. Try and keep things going their way early on. Bowden there, brushing the sleep out of his eyes. You know, he's just warming up. He's just warming up.
I haven't really had a chance to see him activate with the AWP, which is his bread and butter. But it's going to come through eventually. This time around, well, no, they're on an eco, so...
Not happening now.
Nothing at all. On save for ATK, and they are going to split it up a little bit. A couple players towards top mid, the other 2 into the upper tunnels, and look at this. BRN is going to find, JOTA's going to find the bomb at his feet. BRN supporting with the frags, and now Henny peeking around to lower tunnels. They are taking the fight to ATK and winning every single time, as you would expect, since ATK didn't invest much into the round or anything at all, as MOTM will be the last one standing, Mike.
I always love when teams take the initiative in the anti-ecos, right? So often you see teams play scared where they're just like, well, we'll just hold the site, we have the gun advantage, it'll be fine. Nah, not MIBR. Never scared. Just run straight to your face and gun you down.
I can understand being more passive because these rounds can quickly get away from you if you're not careful. But also, if you do take the aggressive stance there, it gives you more momentum. It gives you more authority in there. And you say, look, you guys have, you have the pistols. We're going to take this round away from you. We're not going to even let you get near the bomb sites.
One of the interesting things with MIBR, with the most recent change, right? You've changed your IGL, and you've also changed a little bit of the aggression presence, right? With Cello moving out. Cello is a player who is so aggressive with him. Cello and JOTA would usually be working the aggression together.
Absolutely.
Now you're relying on Henny with that AWP to create a little bit more in terms of the openings, in terms of taking the initiative. And to be fair, is kind of ideally suited for that role. He is a great initiative taker in that sense.
Absolutely, there's no question. I mean, he's certainly dropping the frags over the last month, 470 of those in 29 maps, and ADR obviously closer to 70, which is usual for the Opera at 75.3, but he has definitely been an impactful player at 1.06 in that regard. Swisher going to go out here towards the longhouse, spraying down the smoke, making sure no one's in it, and eventually gets pushed back by a Molotov thrown by Turtle, who is going to readjust here and play up close and personal near that longhouse. Hasn't been here yet so far this half, so could catch ATK off guard should they choose to come here. But for now, it's just Swisher and no one else.
Cat conceded. Put pressure on Henny, and that first shot goes wide. Missed him just immediately taking space. He wants this ground. He does not want to give it back. So real estate achieved. They've got the spot on Catwalk, and they're going to throw another smoke as well to put the doubt into mind. There's only 3 remaining smokes, so there's not a ton to spare here. But this is what they want. They want the drop from Bode in towards CT. This is going to hold presence. This is going to allow the pinch in towards B. They recognize this. Perhaps a bit of a weaker side exit. Finds his first, though, taking the initiative. This is working out. Tunnel presence not coming through, and by the time it does, well, it's way too late. Fady, well, as a solo man, will at least give this the best try he can. Bomb down. A 1v3, ace clutch required of Fady here. And he wants to take the first fight to them. Oh, a chance there, but now they know. Now they know, and they can close the gap, close the distance. They can catch him with the flash. His eyes will clear, but the shots will not land. Nice recovery for MIBR. ATK a little disjointed on that B pinch, and it cost them.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, look, Fady should have come in sooner, as you called out, Mike. If he did, then it would have been a much more coordinated hit. Maybe his 2 teammates wouldn't have gone down as easily, and it would have just put that pressure on that was needed. Instead, they made it way too easy for Exit and BRN to hold the site. They got 3 frags, and by that point, yes, Fady does get a bomb plant, but it could have been a round victory if there was just that additional pressure applied a little bit sooner. Again, a little disjointed, a little hesitant across the board, as I mentioned, just to go for those takes. Round number 9, ATK's lead has disappeared, and it's exchange hands to MIBR. Are up 5-3 now, and here comes a pistol buy-up. JOTA is just going to grab the op, take 2 down, throws the Molotov out, nade as well, and 1 frag does come through from motm, but this round will likely be over unless they can get something done immediately, and they cannot. That's it.
I wonder what they saw that actually swapped that op over to JOTA instead of Henny. I mean, it may be a spawn thing, but then Henny's the one who stuck out towards long, which is normally what you would assume would be based on the fast bomb. Whatever it is, it certainly winds up working. No question about that. Henny's got the op on back. They're going for the double. They've got the double. BRN picking up the secondary here. And MIBR, after a 3-1 start against them, have recovered here for 5 in a row. Second time out taken by ATK. They're burning these early. They know how important it is to get these T-side rounds in. But yeah, you do have to keep some in reserve. So this may be one of the last contributions we see from Spray for a little while.
Yeah, interesting to see BRN on the op. Not usually the one to carry it. It's often JOTA, which you saw in that previous round. He's the one who rocks the double op setup with Henny, but this time BRN wants a crack at it.
Site situation, right?
Yeah.
Henny plays towards A, BRN, be anchored. You want to play with that double up. That's frequently the way teams love to set it up. Gives Henny more freedom to roam, take those first shots. Means you can have consistent alt presence here on towards B. Oh, the flashbang. Important there. Bowden was looking for a fight, looking for a fray, and this is BRN's first test with this AWP. The peek goes in, the shot's not hit, but he doesn't drop in turn. Now the aggression on in. BRN cannot connect. He's being overwhelmed with flashbangs, and they will take him out of play. Well done from ATK. They overload the B site, and there's just nothing that MIBR can do. At this point, it's going to be a safe call. They're going to withdraw, even with the cash that they've got. There's no sense throwing these guns away. ATK pick up the pace. It's a great result.
Look, I mean, we can't forget that BRN was brought up from the academy team and did take on the opping role, but he's not a natural operator. He's a rifler.
That was his first time doing it.
Absolutely. So, I mean, we see it there. A couple of misses, unfortunately, although the utility was solid. To credit to ATK. I mean, he was flash for the majority of the time. So
I think
much of a chance, right?
I think Simple would have struggled in that particular situation. Good flashbang spacing. But, I mean, look, we're noticing for ATK that they've clearly identified B as being a little bit more vulnerable, right? That's been their tendency to go towards. We've seen a lot of mid splits in the attempt, and they've lost the bodies while stuck in mid. So this time they say, let's just keep it simple. Throw the flashes in, execute on towards B. Just see if we can't crack this.
Oh.
And it, okay.
Are they going to lose everyone?
Really unfortunate for ATK. They'll keep one player alive maybe here. As on the hunt at the end. I heard bullet.
I did too.
Let's see. How's Fady's money?
We'll find out.
He was the lone survivor.
Yeah, he's okay. He
fine. Dropped the gun, I think.
Yeah, he survived.
All good.
Yeah, all good. But I mean, not all good because they lost 4 players in a situation where they shouldn't have.
Less good. It's certainly a good hunt on the end for MIBR. Quite a way to mitigate the lost round. Double pushing towards tunnels. This is the change-up. They want to change the look towards B, knowing that it's been punished a lot. They're going to take this tunnel space early and leave exit there, and that completely changes this look. BRN and exit roll through. They put JOTA on site temporarily. That does mean, though, that they can't contest towards long. So that's the change that has come through, and ATK respond to it by resuming their holdout here. Well, now this is interesting. With the tunnel presence, now they're playing 4 towards A. Nothing in mid, but BRN peeking from catwalk. And ATK so far back. A little bit of boxing at shadows here, but it does mean that exit is ultimately going to be the one who has to execute. Comes the hit. Flashbang behind her. They're going to go and dry. Dry peek it is. Exit. We'll take that every day of the week. Thank you very much. 2.5 kills found for exit. And now they don't even know that they can go quickly in towards B. This is the moment. This is the chance. But they don't trust it. And that moment's going to slip away.
Still no one going to the B site for MIBR. They are just going to hold their ground. Eventually, someone's going to rotate through. You have to imagine that's so much ground that isn't covered with 0 info. And there you go. BRN is going to be that player to go on back. Tosses the incendiary on into the tunnels. And now ATK are readjusting themselves for the hit towards the A site. They do have one player to worry about on site proper. That's JOTA. And he's behind that smoke, so he can play a cheeky angle. Here comes Swisher to support, and Bowden hits the first shot onto Turtle. Now he's moving up, his eyes set onto Cat. Doesn't realize Jota's wide swung around the smoke, but Jota can't connect the shots. Finally does. Too many chances given to Jota, and now Henny is going to find Mistim, and BRN dropping the last one. Oh man, I thought they had a chance there, Mike.
Some miscues coming through from ATK. I mean, it starts with that tunnel clear, right? If they put a flashbang in there, exit's in a really tough spot. You can't. I mean, you could kind of flick away, but you're probably dead to the first guy through the gates. But they wanted to try and take that space for free, and it cost them. They paid a toll. Imagine ATK will adjust that going forward if they come into tunnels late. Might succeed. More emphasis. This round, not going to be the one. Deco City. See if they can decode the round.
I thought it was going well.
It's all right.
Bowden.
Off the double up is MIBR. That's an interesting note.
Yeah.
Often don't want to play too many scopes up against Decos. Turtle better not play with too few bullets. No, he's good.
That was a belabored fight there towards long, and Swisher eventually goes down. Luckily, Turtle didn't take any damage, and ATK is going to go back towards Cat. Now they're going to have to wait for this smoke to dissipate. They have a flash and a smoke themselves. I think, no, I thought I saw a nade that was dropped over to another teammate, but no, just the smoke and the flash right now. Bowden.
Early performers here. JOTA 17-3. Turtle, 11 kills. Only 3 deaths as well. So after some initial struggles with that long fight, these A-side defenders have really taken over. JOTA can add an extra kill to his death tally. Gun down, and that might open things up for a bomb plant here. That's what they're trying. They can get back any scope it up.
Oh,
okay, that's one way to do it. Delete him. Turtle gets the trade, but a bomb plant should go in. No utility is good. Nicely timed nade from exit to deny that. A Molotov in means they really can't get this ground. That's going to be very disappointing for ATK.
They're peeking too much.
They can shoot their way out of this. This is still in doubt. Headshot angles over the lip. Favorite Eagles here. It's going to be the cleanup. Okay. Exit and BRN come into lockdown A. Keep it clean. Deny that bomb money as well.
They didn't have to peek as aggressively as they were. Could have just held the angles and waited for them to cross over to the site. But instead, man, they kept peeking again and again. And, I mean, got punished by the Deagles. Luckily, exit and last other players standing for MIBR were up to the task. And they get the headshots and deal the killing blow. So not only that, MIBR have secured the half with the 8th round victory. as they move forward. Talking about JOTA, 17-4. He has been their most impactful player over the last month at a 1.18 impact rating, ADR of 81.1 as well. As Henny connects on to Bowden to make this a 5v4 quickly on MIBR's side. Fady is going to be looking around, trying to get some entries into the B site, but his smoke guises off his vision, and now ATK likely going to redirect their attention towards Cat. As they take a little bit of damage, but Mistim does find an opener for his squad. Turtles down, Switcher's moving around, and he will find one on Henny as well. Here they go, moving on to the A site. Yes, indeed, no one is here. JOTA and BRN are stuck inside of CT, and they have to fall off. I mean, this could turn into a save before the bomb's even planted. And Fady's waiting here in the lower tunnels to punish. There's one, they have nowhere to go.
This is so unfortunate for MIBR. They get caught over-rotating players out of position. Now 3 on. This is a tough call. You'd definitely like to have a look-see in, and they've got enough money that they can certainly do this. So they will. But not finding anything early. If ATK doesn't give them the fight, don't know how much MIBR is going to fancy this. Time's getting low. This one already seems like a foregone conclusion. Might be more about trying to find the exits and keep that money limited on the T side. Op is retrieved. They're out of here. They're gone. So a 5th round for ATK. Getting her done here on the T side. Even a parting shot. That's a big one to find. ATK stabilizing now into the gun rounds. It's funny, you almost looked at the minimap and thought they had a moment missed, right? Because they find that initial space in towards mid, and despite losing the duel with Henny, they have a clear path towards B. It's just, I think, Exit playing solo on the site. He could have been caught out. They opt to readdress, to move back, and they punish some aggression from MIBR at a critical time.
It was a very good time for them to go through. I mean, Swisher caught one player with his back turn trying to go towards long, and I mean, ended up finishing off the frag too, so well played from ATK as they pick up a 5th. And now, I mean, MIBR still got the economy to invest here and probably will be okay into the next round as well, assuming they lose here. But ATK are going back to their defaults, playing towards the upper tunnels. Sorry?
You said assuming they lose here. That's a big assumption.
It is a very big assumption.
MIBR. They don't want your assumptions.
Okay. Well, we'll see. Turtle.
You know what happens when you assume.
Yes, I do.
Sometimes you're wrong. That's what happens when you assume. Fady with an opener. All right, here we go. Fady with an opener. That's a nice one to find. That's over towards B. That's going to soften up the site. And that was Henny, actually. So this is a change up to the look. BRN playing in towards the middle. Exit. Little solo dolo on towards B again. Collecting the Opper does take the teeth out of the round to a certain degree. He hasn't been the dominant force. Push up. Interesting timing. Malt caught, but they didn't reveal their presence, and Turtle's going to take full advantage. He gets the second as well. Turtle stepping up big for this team again.
Takes a lot of
trade, but BRN, he's gone through. He's gone through. Has no idea there's another, and then a second kill comes in. Now pressure onto the player back by Arls. JOTA on the site. He's got 2 angles to cover off, and they should know there's a good chance he's here, and Swisher hits it. Utility timing could have been rough, but instead the bomb can now cross safely and exits in a 1v2.
Wow.
He knows Swisher hasn't gotten through, but he can't deny this bomb plant. Not at all. And now strong post-plant positions. A Molotov picked right in towards Goose. Clears them out, forces them into the angle, but Fady's good for it. Not a lot of health to spare there for ATK. The margins were not great, but they squeaked through a 6.
The swings in that round. It felt like MIBR had full control once BRN was pushing up Cat and finding a frag, but Swisher comes back, gets 1 and the second on the entry. Look at this. BRN was already on their flank, but Swisher is able to get that one onto the A side, and that's the difference maker for ATK. We talked about them needing him to come alive, and in the latter part of this half, he really has. He's been part of that core that's really pushed them through here up to these 6 rounds, and it appears as though we have potentially a timeout here, Mike.
Yeah, this doesn't look like a live round to me.
Yeah.
I've seen a lot of rounds in my day job. They don't normally start like that. But hopefully we'll be able to get the issue, whatever it is, resolved very quickly. Maybe just a miss-buy situation. But we'll find out about that in just a little bit. Hopefully. Fingers crossed. Knock on wood here. John, this is a great first half for ATK. This is frankly surprising. MIBR, I think the biggest surprise for me is that they haven't really been able to get Henny super activated. He's playing well. don't get me wrong, 8-6 is a fine scoreline.
Yeah.
But he hasn't been able to really establish that op as something to just fear wherever it is on the map.
Which is surprising, you're right. I mean, on a map like Dust2 in particular, it's an opper's paradise, right? And Henny just can't get comfortable, and perhaps that's credit to ATK, right? Good utility usage on their part, good flashes, in particular, of course, from Mistim, who's usually good for it. He's their top flasher at 0.87 flashes thrown per round, and over the last 3 months, that is, and 0.71 success rate. So pretty solid for him, and usually Bowden supporting as well. It's great to have. It's often the case, though, that the oppers are supporting with the flashes. Oh,
this is a classic, folks. Anytime you see this case come out, so if you don't know, here's a little behind-the-scenes detail. When players go up on stage, you need your phone to get your Steam Authenticator code so you can log in, prevent issues with this lovely software that we all know and love. But you can't have your phone while you're competing. It's an integrity concern. So they go into this case, it gets sealed on up, and they get their phones back during the breaks or after the game. But sometimes you get a PC crash, and you need to re-log in. And then the handy-dandy case comes on out.
Huh.
And you get that issue resolved.
I actually was not aware of that case.
You weren't aware of the case?
No, I wasn't.
I love Steam. Flawless piece of software. It is crazy, though, that they... we had a full outage? I was wondering about that. I had a little flicker of lights out here. Heard a little buzz. Apparently, we just had a little power issue. So maybe we're going to need some more phones. We might have a few things that have to happen here. But, again, hopefully we'll be back in soon. It's interesting as well. They're moving Henny all over the map, right? We've seen him play towards B. We've seen him play towards long. We've seen him take peeks cat. We've seen him try and secure mid, but mostly back from ramp. But what's interesting to me is I don't think we've gotten the straight-up classic Dust2 opera peeking through double doors.
Yeah, not really. No, I think you're right. I mean, it hasn't really been a fight towards mid pretty much at all from either side. It seems like they're veering away from it in the early goings. ATK taking a much slower pace, not even looking for those early picks, so I don't think there'd be anything for Henny to see, even if he did go for that peak. So they're deciding to, like you mentioned, go on the periphery towards long A, towards B, and leave mid alone in terms of the op.
Well, we'll see if he can sort of take things over again. We know that at any moment he's a player who certainly can't get activated. In the meantime, JOTA and Turtle have been putting in the work. It's interesting to see that rebound from Turtle. He's done a great job of it. Those first couple of rounds out towards long, maybe he didn't have the best success, but as soon as the rifles came out, that was his. That was his position, and he's been a key piece to securing so many of these rounds here. No,
there's no question at all. I mean, Turtle's usually a player that can pitch in, very consistent in terms of his performances here for this MIBR roster. Not often the spark plug, so to speak, for the squad. That's usually JOTA and Henny, but he is that player that is reliable and can be just solid across the board.
Well, one last round in this half. Does seem like we're getting the buys back in and getting back underway. We'll see what ATK wants to do here with the last. Pressure towards B was the initial game plan, but the last few, they found some success. Out towards long, out towards A, the lurky kills starting to open things up and give them an option back through. How does MIBR change up the look? They would love this to be a 9-6.
Oof. Yeah, I mean, maybe try to challenge mid a little bit more and gain some more control, like you were saying.
Perhaps. You've also got two SMGs and a CZ to deal with, so a tunnel push could be coming through. Long house control could be established. You wouldn't expect him to just play a vanilla default. You'd expect him to get a little bit adventurous somewhere. Maybe just catwalk aggression if you want to be conservative with it. Double doors set up with one on either side. There's a lot of options. A lot of options.
To be honest with you, we haven't seen MIBR abuse that mid push too much, which Liquid was doing yesterday when we were watching them, right? Liege was going up there every single time. I mean, we've watched Henny do that, pushing up with the op, going towards top mid, and it's successful for him, but it appears they're taking a more passive approach now.
You know, it's funny. I feel like the sort of general opinion among a lot of talent and CS people in general has been that Dust2 is kind of a boring map these days. I think I've come around on it. I used to be a Dust2 hater, and I think it's growing on me.
It's certainly gotten more exciting with the CTs able to maneuver into mid a lot more freely, right? With the wall that was added. I mean, it's been a while, but, you know, it changed Dust2, the dynamic of it, and it makes it more exciting.
It certainly does. Love me a little bit of Dust.
Yeah.
A historic map as well.
I was so against it too at the beginning. That wall, I thought, oh man, it just changes the way.
You just don't like change.
It depends sometimes.
Every change. Why did they make this roster change, John? The player is terrible. Yeah, but why did they change it? Your immediate instinct is resistance to change. Look at this tunnel presence. All five are here. There's a player moving up lower. And it does mean that Exit is going to have a lot of weight on his shoulders. Seeing that utility, they're going to slow down for a moment, but it won't hold ATK at bay for long. They've worked their way back in, but BRN's been caught. The flashbangs have been good. Exit, he gets 2. Done enough to at least make this retake a possibility, but B has in fact been lost. JOTA's on the edge of the smoke. He's already through. He's just got a CZ, but he's got the smoke fade. This could be a cheeky moment.
They're
JOTA
not watching.
Gonna try and make it with the machine pistol here. He's caught. Okay, Fang's taken out of this one. It's down to the big gun though. Henny's got the AWP. How do you get back in? A boost up, perhaps, to peer over the smoke? Oh, I like this. I like this a lot, but he's a little too late to it.
Yeah.
Could have been huge. MOTM's cross. There's no need for these remaining 2 players from ATK to do so they won't have to expose themselves. Still love the idea. But now MIBR has to make the move, and with these noises heard outside of the door, there should be a pretty decent idea that both players are here, right? They heard the taps. Fade's still checking in towards tunnels, but I think ATK at this point have a pretty good idea on this one. Smoke's going to come out. Even provides a little bit of extra cover. They're already getting through. Bowden just wants to play close with the Deeg and running out of time here. MIBR is going to have to make their move straight to the jaws of death. All onto Henny now. A hero play attempted, and it's not going to happen. 8-7, the closest of close games as we head to the half. Are you getting comms? I'm getting. back here. ATK with quite the recovery against MIBR. Make this as close can be. Taking it to the Brazilians here, making them uncomfortable. MIBR need a bit of a rebound as we hit the second half, despite their slim lead, John.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I feel like ATK took control of the momentum towards the latter part of that half. It was very back and forth. Even when MIBR winning their rounds, it wasn't necessarily convincingly winning them. ATK were more the hesitant ones, not taking the initiative. But once ATK started taking that initiative, they were powering through to the bomb sites, in particular, abusing that B site very effectively. And now we go into the pistol round into the second half, and missed him is going to eat a bullet to the dome. Lucky to be alive with 1 HP, and unlucky for MIBR as their entry does not come to fruition.
Look at this read, though. They're not even rotating fast in towards B. They clearly have an expectation that MIBR is going to come in towards the smoke.
Yeah.
And this is going to be interesting. You'd want Fady to maybe get a little bit closer. He's got a flash, but while that smoke is up, they'll still wait. Now Fady's got to adjust. The util's sailing in, and it does seem like this is going to be a B commit. Swisher working his way up, trying to get on the flank. Henny is holding them at bay at the cost of most of his health, but he's done it at the very least. Shot in, and there we go. Fady, okay, comes alive, forces the bomb back. It just left to JOTA, and that will be ATK pincering back in. A decisive pistol, not a bomb plant allowed. Smiles are starting to come out here from ATK.
That was a hard read. They must have researched how MIBR like to play their pistols on Dust2, because wow, everyone in position predicting exactly that would happen. No one even near the A site. I mean, just well played from ATK.
And I mean, I think this is where you're getting in that preparation, right?
Yes.
ATK correctly predicting this veto, having a very good read of where MIBR would eventually take this, and having the tendencies there. Gonna be interesting. Just Glocked in this one. No bomb plant means MIBR don't really have much to play with. And for now, they'll just bunch up in towards mid, and, well, BRN will be the first to fall. Like so many leaves off of a tree. Anti-ecos are beautiful things sometimes.
They can be.
It's like a metaphor for entropy.
Fady. Going to get another one for himself. Headshot onto JOTA. Now he gets dealt a little bit of damage. Needs to be careful here, and eventually will go down.
Right.
And so does MOTM. This just Glocks coming through.
Exit.
They've got upgrades as well. Turtle could find one onto Bowden too. Bowden comes out and says, I'm getting the heck out of Dodge, because this could fall apart very quickly. MIBR, again, did not invest into this round. Bowden is going to fight back into it, and they're expecting it.
No, they're not.
No. Turtle turned around, but yeah, now
he doesn't do it. He doesn't do it. This could have gotten real weird. Instead, it's only a little weird, John. The problem is, you can see the angle from Swisher. He's babysitting the guns with a long-range angle with a rifle, which means that they can't quite get all of the spoils of war. They just have this one MP9. It's something doing. But Mistin's now going to have his hands full. Unarmored opponents. The Fallout can't shoot through them, but look at the health. Mistin down for the count. 2 players still up. If this bomb goes down, it's a massive victory. Great catch from Swisher. He's trying to secure it, and he is past the door, but that MP9 brought it down to the 1v1.
What a
brought
kill.
It down to the clutch. Henny gonna get the plant off. The Swisher read that he's full committed to it. Tries to pull him from it, but Henny's got that! And he's got the shot! No!
Oh my goodness!
Swisher recovers the slimmest of margins. A breath of air there for Bowden Master. My goodness, that got so close to utter destruction.
What a round for MIBR, though. I mean, as mentioned, didn't invest anything into it. They walk out of it with a bomb plat, $800 extra in their bank accounts, and a much stronger buy here. ATK cannot feel good about the way that round went, and it all starts by being a little too complacent towards mid here. Fady standing still, it's like, it's just Glocks, doesn't matter. It does matter. The headshots can chip away at you very quickly, and before you know it, you're on the ground, on your back, and your team is struggling to just get the round victory. I mean, Swisher was key in 2 engagements, right? The one through the doors was excellent, makes it a 2v1, but he had to win the 1v1 in a situation where, honestly, the MP9 could have won quite easily.
So close.
What a round.
Just Glocks. They lose the first 2 kills, then Exit's just like, nah, this is a deagle. If he believes strong enough, it'll shoot like one, apparently.
Wow. And they couldn't even recover the second gun on top of it all. They only got the MP9 and still made it a 1v1.
Incredible effort there from MIBR. That's got to make you nervous if you're ATK, and it's certainly going to make the money shaky headed into this one. No op, for sure. Rifles limited. Forget a bonus round. This is a panic buy round. The opposite of a bonus. They owe it back.
Oh,
Nade
nice nade.
in. That is chunky early on, but MIBR will still have the space. They don't expect MOTM on the plat, but, well, he's only got one. Well, no, MOTM lived. I'm a little confused. Two players were out on the plat. It's getting weird. It's getting wild here. Apparently the
JOTA's
long
on
fight
A.
was the commit, and in the meantime, MIBR say, thank you very much. Catwalk is free. We take these. Do they realize there's someone on Gandalf already? Now they will. JOTA's got the space. They're coming back through, but the shutdown on towards long, and the bomb's still sitting top mid means that, well, MIBR can't do anything with this space, and quickly ATK is going to realize, and he's not here.
Yeah. So strange. MIBR, I mean, they gained all that space up towards cap, but couldn't use it at all. And by the time JOTA's trying to make his move towards the site, ATK swung two players around and his support was gone. Not to mention the bomb was all the way back towards top mid, and now Henny's trying to take a couple of fights, one potentially towards mid and the other one at lower, and will eventually back off.
I think he was spotted by Mistim.
Or MIBR just wants to push.
I think Mistim saw the leg. No, because he immediately withdrew back up tunnels.
Okay.
And here comes the spot. There's the flank. They were just waiting for MOTM to be into position. And ATK wraps that one up with a bow. The positioning looked so scary. MIBR got so much ground. Turned out it was a little bit of a trap.
Yeah, and I mean, ATK, 4 players surviving. They can forget about the round that went almost completely awry against the Glocks, and they build up a decent amount of economy for themselves. So not only that, they've retaken the lead. They're up 10-8.
Timeout going to come in. This is the first one for MIBR. Bit needs to have his contributions here.
Yeah.
It was going fine in the first half, but these last couple of rounds presented a prime opportunity, and it's not one they were able to capitalize on. So, Bit, highly respected within the, within the Counter-Strike scene in general, but, obviously within the Brazilian scene, he contributes a ton to this team. And it's one of the reasons they've been able to deal with shifting IGLs now twice in the last 6 months, maybe
right.
8 months.
I think it was 6 months actually. Yeah, maybe you're right, but 8 months. But either way, you're right.
Dates are hard.
It's still, he has held the team together, and even when they were transitioning from Cello now over to JOTA, it wasn't apparent. MIBR still continued to perform as we expected them to.
It does mean that in these shakier situations, right, JOTA may be a little less proven as a caller. He was secondary calling, I think, when Cello was taking the helm. But those are the moments where your brain needs to process quickly, and you may not have seen those exact scenarios before while you were IGLing. Missed him. Can't finish off the kill. That means they got ground. That means they got space. Damage through the door from Fady. But Mistim is on a bit of an island.
Do they know he's
going to play this cheeky? They're going to clean out tunnels. Fady is down, but Mistim somehow lives. The bomb may be planted. But even that's now looking like a slim possibility. BRN's been overwhelmed. MIBR. I mean, okay, this is the second round where they've actually gotten onto the site, but they haven't been able to secure the site well enough to actually plant the bomb.
That's wild, honestly. And I mean, Mistim was just hanging out behind the smoke and eventually just came out of it. It was expected by BRN, but the problem was he just was hanging out there, and there's so much pressure coming from the double doors, coming from the tunnels, that they couldn't clear out the site effectively and couldn't even get the bomb planted, which, to be honest with you, maybe Mistim would have allowed them to do, given the situation he was in. But no, it doesn't happen. All right, Henny, gonna peek out here with the big green. Here comes the push. It's expected by him, but I think Bowden ducked out just in time, and now he goes back to the lower tunnels.
This is a tough spot. He needs to get out while the smoke's still up. He knows it. If you stuck around there, you're very much on an island with an op. So easy to get overwhelmed. I will say, a lot was made headed into this America's Road to Rio event about how it seemed to be the South America Road to Rio event. Only 6 NA teams. Not so much of the North representation here, but I mean, it's early days. Knock on some serious wood. Looking like some good play. Turtle wants to change that. He wants to remind everyone that the major is, in fact, in Rio. That the Brazilian teams would like to be there. I mean, they're made in Brazil, right?
Yeah.
I think the MIBR could also stand for major in Brazil. And Bowden has just spotted a leg. Didn't have a chance for the shot, but they'll both say, okay, that's fine.
Yeah.
Back away. The bomb's here. JOTA. How's Henny providing oversight? But you got to be wary about dropping that bomb again. We've seen it be an issue for MIBR. Now they'll creep in. This looks like it's going to be a full B set.
Yeah, it is going to be Bowden going to get the shot onto BRN, shuts them down in their tracks before they get a chance to move on forward, then throws the flashbang, pops up again, but it's Swisher pushing up and doing the damage against Henny. Now Bowden continues to spam away into those tunnels. They are rotating, but there's still one player left there. There's not much time, 15 seconds, and JOTA will get one, but he's traded out, or at least his teammate is. And yeah, they need to go and back off here. They won't be able to execute onto either site as ATK, Mike, get a 12th.
This is, I mean, this was a non-starter. Now you've got money being weird. Not an ideal buy for the 3 dead players. Not enough money to save around for the 2 alive players. It's a weird situation for MIBR, and this is where things get very messy. They're so disjointed on their takes. It's really not looking decisive for MIBR, and they're unable to deal with that back position on B. They cannot, I mean, it was missed him before. It's Bowden this time. They can't get a player out of there. They can't clear that sight line.
And another timeout being used here from MIBR. I mean, they're trying to figure out what's going wrong. You see the emphatic expressions here, just trying to say, look, guys, settle down. You got to clear out those sites. You got to get in there. Be assertive. MIBR.
You know, I know I think Fallen's apparel company sponsors Imperial, but at least one of the sponsors there for MIBR has Bit in their name. Do you think that's his company over on the shoulder? I don't think so. But
I don't think so, but hey, you never know.
It's got to be kind of funny when you're wearing a jersey that says Bit not just on the back,
but on the front too.
On the shoulder, on the pauldron. Henny going for a more traditional peek out the long doors. Not going to find it. Good Molotov usage, and a player was already passed as well. So for ATK, that's a nice result on the early long fight. This control is going to be established. This is a very normal look, I would say, coming out from ATK. This is sort of the Dust2 default that we all know and love. But MIBR are holding back. They're looking for aggression, and I mean, honestly, we haven't really seen aggression out from this ATK CT side. That hasn't been what's led to success. It's just been the site holds.
Exactly. I mean, they do come out with aggression, but it's a timely moments, right? After the XQ comes through from MIBR, then they send the forces on forward to try and get on the flank.
Here's the exposed section, though. Catwalk taken for free. MIBR do find the space.
Oh, they do.
That was a push in towards tunnel. Speaking about timely aggression, waiting a beat and then going for the poke. So that's the lurker taken out. That's exit out of play, and it means your options are now limited, and they're going to be very wary about a lower tunnel push coming in. And information continues to creep in here for ATK. They've been collecting it. Now they got a pretty good idea of where these T's might be. Yeah. Especially as Swisher has the sightline into Longhouse. He's holding this angle. Turtle's going to come test it. This could be the next big fight in the round. Pressure coming on in. Does Swisher flinch first? Seeing that the presence is coming over from Catwalk. It's a boost up over the smoke. Who's on top here? It's JOTA.
Swisher.
Coming looking. Turtle can't catch it. Timely withdrawal here, and now he knows he has to hold on to the angle. First shot hit, Bowden, they're moving over. They don't have the utility to clear him off the angle, and one by one they falter. It's all down to Turtle. There's just nothing here, John.
That was such a good play from Swisher. I think he caught the shoulder of Turtle as he was pushing up and immediately fell back. Now he knows where Turtle might be, and he pushes into it, but still being very careful. Time runs out. Swisher takes him down after time. No loss bonus going to come through for Turtle. What a play from him. Knew there was very little time on the clock, and that Turtle was still in that vicinity. What a timely play from him. Love it.
It's going from bad to worse here for MIBR. It's going from bad to worse. These are the 1-1 games, so we're not worried about elimination just yet. But being in the 1-2s, it's a tough spot to fight back from.
It is.
That's BO3s all the way down. That's a lot more CS needing to be played to potentially get yourself a spot. Even if you get the 3-2 scoreline, that does not guarantee a spot at the major.
Yeah.
We only have 6 slots to give away. So it's going to be a battle, and this round is going to be a slaughter. Bomb already dropped. B presence completely ineffective.
Yeah.
And ATK in full control.
No fuss, no muss for ATK into this round so far. Swisher's already on the flank. They probably expect it. I mean, Henny's looking up towards top mid. Yeah, I mean, expect it or not, all you've got is pistols up against an A1S, and Swisher does go down to 31. Needs to be careful, ducking and covering, saying, MOTM, could you come over here and maybe help me out? And, well, MOTM tries to, but he's the one who ends up going down here to JOTA, so space will be gained up towards Cat at the very least for MIBR. And JOTA?
They just don't have to care is the problem.
Yeah.
The only thing that matters is
I mean, the bomb isn't there, right?
So. Yeah, it does not matter. Even that one gun is in a relatively secure position. Swisher's got them hemmed in towards tunnels. They want this fight because it is isolated, but now it's isolated because there's no one. There's no one else. It's just exit. And he'll make his exit from the round.
Swisher so relaxed there, just leaning back in his chair, tapping away. Lounging indeed.
Spirit of JDM lives on.
Yes, it does. As MIBR, are they going to use another timeout here? I think they might, yeah.
Okay.
Only one left?
Yeah, well, you've only potentially got one round to
True,
lose.
true.
So, you can't take them with you.
No.
You can't take them with you, John.
It'd be crazy if you could carry them over, but that would be a little OP.
I was talking about this. Was I talking about this with you or with someone else?
Not with me.
Here's a tournament format I want to run just to see how it would go. As a coach, you have a set pool of timeouts at the beginning of the event, and they carry over. So you could use 30 timeouts in your first game, but then you would have no more for the rest of the tournament. I don't know what the number would be. It would have to depend on the format.
Yeah, 30 seems like a lot, but yeah.
But I mean, but think about it. If you're
it depends on how many matches,
group stage and then playoff run, be interesting to see how conservative some teams would go and others would just burn through all their timeouts and the coach wouldn't be able to have any contribution. All I'm saying is, I don't know what tournament you would actually do this. It's not a good idea.
No, because it would slow down the matches so much, Mike.
But we're back into this match. The timeout is over. It's not slow at all. JOTA almost got a catch, but not a bullet actually lands. A missed opportunity there for MIBR to have early impact, and JOTA might be kicking himself a little bit for that one. Beat gonna come into the round. ATK, they've got a little bit of aggressive posturing with Bowden up on catwalk. He's got the sight line down there, and they do have long control, which they very much are fans of. And otherwise, they're content to let this one play out a bit. As I say that, though, motm's actually coming in towards mid, seeing some utility there. We haven't seen much of a mid fight. He's coming in to reinforce, or maybe just pick up some extra nades.
It's so interesting how little emphasis has been put on both sides around the double doors and the op setups there. Nothing. ATK playing very passively, and for the most part, just, you know, leaning back and forth from the B site here. You see Fady having a peek towards mid, but each team content to give up that space, Mike.
This is going to be the fight. Bowden's got the angle. Flashbang's out for it. No, it's a smoke instead. Bowden's got ahead of it. That shot doesn't land. Information gained, though. Knows Henny's on the other side, and JOTA's going to go for the drop down and the insta-delete. My goodness, Fady. He's the rifle on the line, dealing damage, getting info. And now they can be held from the other side. There's no smoke for this. They're running out of time. They don't have smokes. They only have mollies. They have to flood B. That's the only thing left to them.
There's so little time.
Mistim can hold. They cannot mess up. Mistim has to go down immediately for this to be successful for MIBR, and they are rocking it now. Mistim's got the first, the second as well. It's over. There's no chance at this. Turtle with a Mac 10 doesn't even really want to survive here, but he'll try and get himself an upgrade. And while that, at the very least, will be available. 15 rounds on the board for ATK, 7 map points on a row, and ATK are set to pull off a wild upset here, move up to the 2-1, and send MIBR toppling down another rung.
Wow. Look, I mean, Fady, you're going to see it again here. What a hold from the B side of mid to get those 2 frags and just basically deny MIBR the space they were looking for with very little time left on the clock. And honestly, MIBR, like you said, had to be perfect going to the B site, but they had so much map to cover before they even got there that one thing goes wrong and it's over, and it did go completely wrong. Now MOTM going to be fighting towards long. This could be it. MOTM gets 2. Swisher drops exit, and now Swisher trying to get the killing blow. It is only one left, and ATK are going to take it 16-8. They go 2-1 and send MIBR down to 1-2.
A flawless CT side. Not a round drop after the half. Chest bumps galore. Why not? That was a clinic put on from ATK, and MIBR had no answers to the questions posed by this international squad. They're in prime position now. Smiles all over their faces.